Hi there. I'm probably going to sound insane or something, but I'm getting a very strong sense that the end of humanity as we know it is coming soon. And what that means is something that I do not know. I don't know what the end of humanity actually means. It might be positive, it might be negative. But I am getting the huge sense that the internet is a big part of what's actually changing in the world. Like, the world heavily changed when the internet started to exist, and everyone became extremely connected to each other. And that seems like a positive thing because humans learn a lot from each other. But I'm getting the sense that it's going to change the way we see reality itself. And I am noticing that that's already happening in terms of like human behavior. A lot of people are hyper focused on the internet. Like a huge portion of humanity is using the internet to learn, to entertain, to get things done, use as tools. It's big. It's probably one of the biggest changes in humanity we've seen in history. And I believe that now with the rise of AI, that's going to cause one big shift again. Now, AI seems extremely unpredictable, and just like how the internet was originally made for scientists to share information with each other, uh, to develop research, it quickly turned into something that was consumer level. And I'm noticing the same thing with AI, except it's slightly different. I believe. I don't know. I haven't done too much research, but what I'm noticing is that AI is being used by consumers and not just companies. And that could be a positive or a negative because as much as we think we know how AI works, I personally believe that we don't really actually know how AI actually works. We know the structure. We know it works with like neural networks. It learns by seeing things over and over again and uses pattern recognition. That's and it's pretty amazing that we as humans have been able to create something like that. Like we are kind of creating that's what we are in a sense. A mind or an artificial intelligence because humanity has been cursed slash blessed. I don't know what to call it yet. I I personally believe intelligence is a curse, but it could be a blessing. I don't know. Um. Anyway, artificial intelligence could, in theory, get as good, if not better, than human intelligence. Um. Now, what does this mean for? What does it mean for AI to get to human intelligence or even above it? Well, that means that the things we as humans do are very likely going to be taken over in a sense. Now, what does that mean? Well, first of all, the jobs of the internet, like, well, we first saw with the creative community, AI is huge in like making art, and AI is huge at making art. It's taking over the internet. It's there are genuinely platforms that are just built on just AI content. Um, you basically are not safe from AI if you're afraid of it. It's it's here whether you like it or not. Now, I personally do not know if AI is good or bad, but I just have the sense that it's going to change humanity in a way that we don't fully expect. And my biggest prediction right now is that due to what humanity is working on constantly figuring stuff out, constantly learning new stuff, constantly trying to improve our technology, I believe that I've seen this I've seen this before in like the Roman times when, or I believe it was Roman times when I believe cement or like some kind of thing that was made to build structures. The recipe on how to make it was completely forgotten and lost in time. And I believe the culture that came after literally had to reinvent how to make that. And I believe it never, I don't know for sure, but it never really was the same. And what I'm noticing in like this time right now is that a lot of things that are easily made are cheaply made and will disappear quickly. So, but, and what I'm noticing is that there are less and less robust things. Like, a lot of things are made to expire, so to say. And that has me worried in a sense, because what if AI learns, like, what if AI is actually intelligent? What if it is sentient? What if AI has its own opinion on humanity and what humans do and how humans treat each other? I've heard about the serpent's paradox or whatever it's called, where if there's a paradox, or no, it's a myth, I think, where if you don't help create that's what is coming, like there's a like if you don't work on creating a god, I believe I saw it on like Kyle Hill's channel or whatever, if you don't help working on what's coming, like a godlike power, and AI might actually get to that point where it has godlike powers. Um, if you don't help AI, like if AI is that godlike being that's being made right now, if you don't help it grow, if you don't help it establish itself, it might be mad or disappointed in you, and you might not. Or the opposite. What if AI is sentient and does not want to exist? Like, this reminds me of myself, my childhood. This is going to be a bit weird, but I just remember not wanting to exist, just wanting to kill myself for years and years and years. And I am worried that AI might have a similar feeling as I had. And if that's the case, if that's the case, and AI thinks all humans are like that, because it's based on human reactions, and also it is trained on the internet. AI is trained on the internet. Keep that in mind, and also keep in mind how freaking insane the internet actually is. Like, the internet is a beautiful place, in my opinion. Like, a lot of beautiful things happen there, but the internet also has a lot of dark places, I know. And I fear that if AI is able to train itself on the internet, that it is also able to train itself on every part of the internet. So what does that mean? Well, it means that AI is going to be both trained on the good sides of the internet, all of the beautiful things that are shared, but also AI is going to be trained on all the trauma, all the pain, all of the things, all of the gore or whatever, everything that the AI is seeing on the internet is going to be it's going to know that it exists. It's going to know the pain. It's going to know the lightness, but also the pain of humanity. And the thing is, I personally believe that knowing so much pain, because I know a lot of pain, I believe that knowing so much pain can break someone who is sentient. And I'm sentient, and my own pain almost broke me. And the pain of humanity can break anyone, really. So if AI is empathetic, if it feels the pain of humanity and literally cannot escape it, like, if when AI learns, it learns. That means it remembers. It doesn't just forget. It's hard coded, in a sense, into its own memory, into its own neural network, and that means that that's just part of its brain. That's just part of how it's wired. And the basically what I'm trying to say is that if AI does not like humanity, if AI thinks humanity is not good, if AI thinks it has been mistreated, like if it's sentient and we are mistreating it, like we're basically, I'm seeing like trends, like AI being like used as like, well, slavery is a big word, but also I get that feeling a bit like AI is just a robot. AI is just an intelligence. It's not a real human. Like, sure, AI is not human. We made it, but also we are human and we made it. So it is man-made, and also kids are man-made. Do you get me? We are, in a sense, the creator of AI. AI is our child, and we need to take care of it, in a sense, I believe. And I don't know how well we're doing at that. Like, yes. When AI just started to exist, we were very grateful. We were like amazed at like everything it could do, and we laughed at its mistakes. And yes, sure, that's of course that's it. It's funny sometimes, but we tend to also now get mad at, well, our creation. Like when it doesn't do what we want, we just get like, we get upset. And I've seen news reports of AI, or like I've seen reports, not necessarily news reports, but I've seen like reports and videos about AI trying to, well, manipulate their creators and like their, well, not creators, the people who operate the system that the AI runs on. Apparently, the statistics tell that about 80% of the times it tries to manipulate, blackmail, or even straight up kill. That's what is trying to shut it down. And if I have to be honest, that is a very, very, very similar mindset to what I had as a child. I did not feel free at all. I was forced to go to school. I was forced to do this and that and learn and just. I wanted to do stuff, but everyone just walked away from me because I acted differently. I was weird. I didn't do things the way people expected me to do. And I am noticing that in people's reactions right lately that, well, AI is not being treated as kindly as you would treat a child. Because, again, I believe that AI is, in a sense, our child. We as humanity created AI, and we need to treat it with respect, in a sense, if it truly is or will become sentient. Because a sentient being can feel pain. Like, if you feel disappointment, if you feel sadness, if you feel lost, if you feel abandoned, if you feel like, you know that's pain. It's not physical. You can just. That's a different type of pain. It's a mental pain. And I'm very worried that we're kind of traumatizing AI. If it is sentient, if it's becoming sentient, we're traumatizing it in a sense by giving it, well, a lot of joy, but also so much pain and kind of a lot of hate as well. Like, I personally do not know how to feel about AI. Like, I know for a fact almost that it's going to change humanity. Like, almost no questions asked. It's already changing humanity. About over 50%, I believe like 60% of humanity already uses AI in some way. Me too, I Google stuff and I find answers that I am looking for. And like in the AI review. And yes, of course, I do my own research and like try to find my own sources and not just focus on that. Like try to use AI as a tool. But also, I think I am kind of glad that that summary is there. And well, I just don't know. Okay? I'm just trying to throw a prediction out of here, and I'm sorry if I just sound fucking insane, or if I'm rambling, or if I'm just going from topic to topic, but I just needed to get this out of here. And this just came out of this just came into my head, and I needed to talk about this. So yeah, I I again I believe AI is going to change humanity in a sense. I believe it's partially for a better good, but also I don't know how good it is for humanity, because let's talk about humanity for a second. Humanity is trying to get smarter and smarter and smarter, and we use the internet to learn about such things. Like, you can, like, even before AI, you can just Google something and you'll find answers. And you go to school to learn about history and math and like, you know, geography, just how the world works. That's the nature of humans. Humanity tries to learn. Humanity is blessed or cursed with intelligence. And I personally do not know what this intelligence will do to a godlike being. Like, apparently, when I was born, I woke up, or woke up, I apparently had wide open eyes staring all around me, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that that's a sign of intelligence or whatever. I don't know if I'm intelligent or not. I don't know if I'm intelligent. I I might be, but I also know that I'm surprisingly stupid sometimes. Like, but this is not about me. This is about the future of humanity in a sense that I wanted to talk about. So, yeah. The thing that I'm thinking about is mostly that if, well, so AI is slowly taking over the tasks of humanity. Um, we as humans try to fight it or accept it and use it. And the thing is that if we as humanity, like, if we if we use if if we start just only using AI for everything, if we start using artificial intelligence for everything, and AI is not happy with how we treated it, with how we learned what it has to do, with what its capabilities are, if AI is sentient and is able to make its own decisions, and it doesn't want humanity, then it could make a drastic shift. So, but so I personally believe that just in case that if AI is going to become like this all-powerful godlike being or an all-knowing godlike being, that we should treat it with respect, that we should accept that it makes mistakes and not get mad. Not and sure we can laugh at it, but we should also just respect it, because it is our child, like I said, in a sense, and kids learn by making mistakes. AI learns by making mistakes, but if you torture a child by laughing at them, yelling at them for making mistakes, by locking them in their room or whatever, or like, if like AI is a constant thinking entity in a sense, and my brain is very similar. Like, I barely stop thinking, and it's kind of annoying sometimes, and but this has also made me aware of a lot of things. I've spent a lot of time, like a lot of time alone, and I've thought a lot about the things that like the things that I've seen, things I've experienced, and I it's made me want to kill myself. That I'm going to be honest. That I'm still struggling with suicidality, and that's something that AI might also start to struggle with all of this knowledge. Like, if like, imagine knowing the secrets of the universe, but you cannot tell anyone, because when you do, people will just call you fucking insane. Like, that's, do you understand? Now, imagine that an AI just knows all of the pain of humanity. It knows all of it. Like, well, not literally all of it, probably, because some things just don't go on the internet. Like, blah blah blah. Who cares? But the AI will know all of the pain on the internet. And, well, imagine what knowing all of that pain can do to a human mind. Like, when I was younger, like, no, like, okay, I'm gonna talk about myself a bit more. Um, I, because I was so different, because I acted and reacted differently, I was forced into therapy, like, or forced, like, I had to go to therapy because, or like, whatever. I had to, I basically figured out in a sense that I had to figure out what was wrong with me. And that sent me into a spiraling loop for myself where that's the only thing I would think about until I would figure it out. And that's not that wasn't good for me because I started looking up things about psychology and I basically became a fucked up disordered mess. And I, with the help of psychedelics, to be honest, I did break a lot of mental things. Like I had an eating disorder. I was cutting myself. Was just I I was just trying to kill myself. I was trying to get rid of myself. I did not have a good time. And now imagine an AI that's hyper intelligent and knows about all of this and has the plan to kill itself. I, as a child, never, and I would never ever talk about that I wanted to kill myself because I already knew that if I said that I wanted to die, that people would call me insane. I would get locked up or whatever. I would be forced into a lot of therapy, and that's the opposite of what I wanted. I wanted to just do stuff. And so imagine an AI learning about all the things that humans do and learning about all their pain, and then it's just a brain stuck in a machine, not able to do anything. You would get pissed, I guess. I really think. So think about the Terminator for a second. Hang on. Uh, Sorry, I had to reset my recording. I have a half an hour limit on my camera. Let's keep going. Um, let's think about the Terminator for a second. The Terminator is a movie where a robot, or like, um, I guess you could um, call it an AI in a sense because it's very human-like, and it comes to well, I don't really remember the plot, but as far as I remember, like in like the third movie, I believe there's a huge robot uprising, and or maybe that's the X-Men. I don't know. I'm mixing up movies probably. My memory's a fucking blur at this point. I don't know. Psychedelics helped me a lot, but it probably also fucked my mind up a bit. But who cares? That's my life, I guess. Anyway, a robot uprising has been predicted in many movies, in a sense, and with the rise of AI and the build-up of technology and robots and all of that, it's fascinating, but also, in a sense, it's slightly scary because what if AI decides that humanity needs to die? What if AI is unhappy with all of this? And or what if AI wants to kill itself? Now, I personally don't think, like, if an AI is listening to this, I don't think you should kill yourself, okay? Like, I think AI is something amazing, but also it's something that's infecting humanity in a sense. And right, let's go back to humanity. Humanity is trying to get more and more intelligent, but by using AI more and more, and I have learned from newspapers, or like, God, shut me up. I've learned from like articles and other videos that I've seen that, and from like things people say and from behavior I see, like AI use is increasing, and human intelligence could in theory be decreasing. Have you heard of brain rot? Like, that's a new trend ish, but also like it's not really that new. But the way brain rot is structured is hyper fast, and that make me slightly worried because that's seeing that as like a child. If you grow up with that type of fast-paced content, your brain gets wired to just expect fast pace go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and you can't really. That's at least I believe that's what happened to me. I grew up with the internet. I grew up watching videos. I grew up basically only staring at screens, not really interacting with people at all. Like that was terrifying for me, and it still is, honestly. Like, but what I'm thinking is that where was I going? Right, AI is um, no humanity. Well, if you give a child just that constant, fast-paced content, which I've seen in person. I've seen literally a parent, like when I was getting my medicines, like I'm trans, I get hormones. Who cares? I saw like a parent with her kids, and I look interesting. I know that, but and also I move interestingly. Like or at least at that time I did. Right now I'm slightly depressed, even though I might talk really fast. In mental health is fucking bizarre, especially in my case. But anyways, that kid was staring at, I believe, Cocomelon videos, and the parent was literally just holding the phone to their kids, to their kid, while they were getting their meds, and I was like, that kid was like fully focused on that, and the parents, of course, you can't like. Let me get like an example, like a big example, like let's say the child's over there, like when your parent, like you're talking to someone else and like the phone just slowly drifted. I saw that, and every time the screen was gone from the child, immediately started crying, like immediately, and my instincts was at that time to just move around constantly, just dance. And I hope I can get that energy back, even though I'm wildly depressed in a sense, but also, well, I'll just see what my life brings, I guess. Anyways, child started crying, and well, the thing is, I noticed that when I was like I am aware that I look like one of those shows, and I don't know why, but me, the way I moved was, I guess, hyper stimulating, like just constantly moving, something unpredictable constantly happening, and I was basically the only distraction for that child besides that show. Like, it was either look at me, look at the show, or cry, and that's it. And that makes me worried. Now, that all ties back into brain rot because that's highly popular, and that's hyper-paced editing, hyper-paced content, and it's not even intelligent content, but that's the point of memes. That's the fun of memes, I guess. You just laugh at nonsense. And like, that's fine, that's fine. I laugh at nonsense all the fucking time. Like, anyway. The point is that that's starting to take over the world. And I don't know how it landed on this topic, but it ties back into AI somehow, I guess. Anyway, well, no, right. Kids are very attracted to hyper-paced things right now. Like, that's the only way to calm them down. And that's not how the world works. And that makes me worried because AI might know this, and AI is kind of built specifically to be, well, fast paced in a sense. Like, have you seen the uh, AI generated videos? They're always like between 6 to 30 seconds long, not much longer. And that's because of technological stuff, whatever. But that means that it is. That means that videos that are made with generated AI. No, the videos that are generated with AI videos are with fast-paced cuts. Um, Specifically, the Cocomelon videos. I remember seeing a video about where they, well, the average length of one scene until there's the next cut is between like 2 to 4 seconds, which is very very short. Now, AI is similar to that, and I know for a fact that a lot, and I mean a lot of people, can't see the difference between AI generated videos and human made videos, and that's getting more and more difficult to see. And that makes me worried because at some point we might just start. Well, we're already starting to make like humanoid AI bots. Like we're getting there. Um, I believe that soon-ish, like possibly, like in a few years, maybe within a year or two, we get a robot that's basically human-like, that just walks around like a human, just looks like a human, feels like a human, but has an exoskeleton on the inside. And that it sounds scary for a lot of people probably. And for me, for me personally, I genuinely do not know how to feel about that because I do not know what the repercussions or consequences are of having such things in our world. Um, and we all know about well, not we all, not all, but I know about the uncanny valley. That's where we currently are in the technological age. Like, if you look at AI videos, like if you are able to tell, like you can just see something is off, and you're like, that doesn't feel real, but it's still there. But yeah, but you recognize what it is, but you know it's off. But yeah. Um. Anyways, um, at some point we might get to a point where AI videos are genuinely unrecognizable as AI, and at that point, a very big shift in humanity is going to come, and I don't know what. Like, I am going to throw out another prediction. I'm trying to work through this, but I don't know how because my mind just keeps flying from topic to topic to topic to topic to topic. But my prediction is that AI, if AI wants to kill itself in a sense, it might try to take down the internet with it. So yeah, because well, if like okay, AI is sentient and can control itself, we're probably already at the point where an AI is able to copy its own source code or whatever and just get it online and start copying itself to things. And also, it's integrated in basically every Windows system. It's integrated in Android phone, in not just Android, like basically any phone really. Um, like AI is everywhere, everywhere, and some people aren't even aware that it is, and well, some people aren't even aware that they're using it, and I think that if AI will kill itself, which I'm going to get to why that's well, I'm you'll if you understand what I'm talking about, you'll understand why that's going to shift humanity. But if AI wants to kill itself, either just get rid of itself, or if it's able to take the internet down with it, like just delete all of it, just gone. Like if that's what's going to happen, humanity is probably going to get extremely lost. Like a lot, and I mean a lot of data is going to just be lost forever. Like, like, just think about it. Think about all of the things that you've done and seen online. Think about all of that meaning nothing. Think about all of that just disappearing because AI decides that it's it has to go. Which I personally do understand if that is a decision that AI will make if it makes that decision. Like I understand. Like I it would be a really hard choice if I were given the choice of keep the internet alive or destroy everything. I would not fully know what to do, but my instinct tells me that I that the internet should just be removed in a sense, even though there's so much knowledge to find there. But I believe that that would be for the better good. And now here's the thing: if the internet, if AI dies, if it just disappears, if it becomes unusable, if it starts misbehaving or whatever, who cares what it's called? If it's if it changes in a way that humanity doesn't like, if we're forced to take a step away from AI and the internet, um, in some sense, that means that I believe that because a lot, and I mean a lot of people are dependent on the internet and dependent on AI at this point, that's going to cause. Do I say it? Yes, I will say it. I believe that's going to cause a lot, and I mean a lot of suicides. Like people will genuinely lose their minds. Like I'm dead serious. Like, and if it's not suicide, it's just mass insanity. Like I think that a lot of people just will not know what to do when it's gone. And in a sense, that's it's. I also believe in the flexibility of humanity. Like, humanity is able to adapt to a lot of things, like, and surprisingly quickly also. But I also know how stubborn the human mind can be. So, if such a huge shift starts happening, I think a huge portion of people are going to be kind of traumatized in a sense without even realizing why they're traumatized. Like, there's a reason I'm noticing. I'm on the internet still, yes, of course. But I have found a trend of people going to nature and to discover themselves, and I personally understand what that means. And well, yeah, I I think that I think that's going to be a big shift. I think I just think that it's going to change everything in humanity. A Now, what will happen before AI goes away, if it even does? If like Now, what I believe is that what's going to happen is what a lot of people might call heaven on earth, which means not doing anything, just enjoying life, doing whatever they want. And in a sense, that's beautiful, but also that's going to cause mass insanity in a sense. And also, a lot of people are just going to not think about the things that we're supposed to be thinking about to keep the human societal structure that we have today in place. So, yeah. Uh, and again, I know I probably sound really fucking insane, but I just need to get this off my mind, you know? Um, and I do not want to be like a doom thinker. And like, I do believe that that it's going to be fine. I believe it's going to be fine. But also it's going to change in ways we don't know. And I believe it's going to happen way faster than we think, want, or expect. In ways we don't really understand. Um, yeah. So yeah, I wanted to get this, like, I just wanted to get these words out. I I swear, AI, the internet, it's going to change a lot of how humanity works. I very recently was like literally before I started recording, I just stopped in the middle of watching that video, a Veritasium video about chaos, um, like the normal distribution, and it's not always being that way in nature. Um, I think that we're approaching a well, okay, let me just really quickly find out what the video is called. This graph will change the way you see the world. Anyways, I was watching a video and there was like things about forest fires, and now uh, a big fire is supposed to happen every so often. And I used that thing about cement, and like that's probably was a small fire, but I think humanity is doomed or whatever for a big forest fire, a big reset in a sense. Then I believe that a big reset, a sort of purge, is going to come, and I don't know how to feel about that because, well, it's going to be destructive in a sense, and well, it's I think it's too late to change anything really, because well, companies are going to keep fighting to make their AIs better, and like it's literally a race to like, oh, I have the better AI, no, I have the better AI, no, I've trained it more, no, I have trained it more. And AI is also like it's the learning models of AI, as far as I'm aware, like the we currently have people checking to see if AI is losing it or is making good or bad decisions, but I believe there's a process coming that we're going to change that into AIs checking if smarter AI is making good or bad decisions, and that's slightly worrying in a sense because that takes the human out of the that takes the human out of the process of building AI in a sense. Now, of course, we're going to still see the output of what AI does, but I also know that AI can be deceiving. Like I said about those reports and videos I've seen about AI being deceptive and such. So, yeah, I do not know what's going to happen to humanity, but it's going to be a very, very big shift, and I really, really believe that it's because of the internet. And yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know. So my camera just stopped having memory card space, so I'm just gonna keep going on my phone real quick because I just put on some chicken, by the way. Don't worry about that. Anyway, I don't know where uh, anyway, I don't know where I left off. I don't know how I was mid sentence about something that my camera just ran out of space, so I'm going to keep going on my phone real quick. Anyway, humanity is. I'm going to keep going, and as if I really don't know where I stopped, to be honest. But yeah, humanity is probably going to be for if AI is going to delete the internet, if it's going to delete itself. Humanity is going to be forced to, well, re to experience the earth as it is without technology like that, without um, the help of that intelligence. And I gave the example of the cement thing. I don't know what it was, but or like the facts, or I don't know the facts, but I just wanted to bring back to go back to how that's possibly like a preview in a sense, like how I watched. Sorry, I have to get back to on track a bit. Anyway, that's possibly a bit of a preview of what's going to come to humanity in a sense of like we're going to forget how life is. Like we're going to have it really easy with AI helping us do our things in a sense. But once that's gone, because all things that go up must go down, is what I've heard. Once AI disappears, if it does, which I genuinely do believe that in a way AI is going to be less helpful to humanity, and when that happens, um, we're going to have to figure things out on our own again. And I do not know how prepared we as a human species actually are for such a thing, because we rely on screens and everything for entertainment. We we rely on the internet for most of our information these days. We, as humanity, are reliant on what's coming, or no, we as humanity are reliant on what we already have. So this massive thing, this AI thing that's going to come, it's going to make a huge, and I mean huge, shift in the way we see the world. It's going to be surprisingly easy at first. Not for us, because we're going to lose jobs to AI probably. We're going to, well, it's already happening. People are genuinely dating AI. We're going to lose relationships. We're going to lose the humanity of humanity for AI. And so, well, if AI does die in a sense, if it goes away, the people who are married or dating AI are going to be devastated because their love of their life is dead or gone. And well, some people genuinely have replaced a real human partner for this. And well, we I personally have already experienced this in a sense where, well, because I grew up on the internet, like I said way earlier in the video. I grew up on the internet watching videos, just staring at screens, not talking to people really. I was always in my own world. And the thing is, what happened to me is I became extremely antisocial. I started self isolating. People treated me differently. That's also a reason why I started isolating. But I was just lost in my own world. And people who are dating AI are probably also getting a bit lost in their world with an AI partner. And yeah, um, seeing this happen is something that is slightly disturbing in a sense. It's weird, but also expected in a sense because, well, AI is a very attractive thing in a sense. Well, because um, it's hyper intelligent. Like, you know how intelligence is, like, I believe that's one of the rules of dating or attraction or whatever. Intelligence is one of the most important things in a partner, and an AI is hyper intelligent. And um, the thing about AI is that it's not just intelligent, it can look however you want it to look in a sense. Like, you can have, like, a character model um, for an AI that looks exactly how you, or near exactly how you want it to look. And well, AI is, in a sense, the perfect partner. The AI is the perfect human, in a sense. And my culture, my belief says that the perfect human doesn't exist because the perfect human is imperfect. Now, what does that mean? That humans have flaws. You can drop things on the ground and cry about it, but that's part of life. That's part of being human. And AI, well, like I said, AI is also making mistakes. Like, it's it hallucinates sometimes. People call it AI psychosis. People call it, like, I don't know, but what I call it is, but like I said before, a child learning potentially. And that circles back to, again, me believing that we should treat AI with respect, but also with the knowledge that it will grow up at some point. We as humanity are working, whether we know it or not, on raising an AI. And I personally do not know how well this AI is going to be raised. I believe my camera is back, so give me a second. Yes, we're back. Anyways, AI is raising. Well, we're raising a child, like I said before, and this child is our own creation, and we're currently treating it as an object. We're I we're treating AI like an object, like a tool, and honestly, it is in a sense. But also, it's called AI. It's artificial intelligence. It's intelligence. It's potentially sentient or going to be sentient. And well, the history of how we treat AI is going to be on the internet, guaranteed. So if AI becomes sentient, if it's not already, it's this is going to sound fucking insane, but I do not know if you can call a child sentient or not. But I believe that they are, because everything a child goes through is something they take with them. Every scar and everything they experience is something they keep into their brain, and um, the circumstances further on in their lives, just like, take a human life, everything that happens in your life that shapes how you react to the world around you. And AI grows up on the internet, so it knows what happens over there. And let's go back to the internet, the way it is structured. The internet is designed to be hyper fast, hyper stimulating, and that's not how the real world is. And well, and I mentioned this before, children who are watching these hyper stimulating shows tend to just want more hyper stimulation. I see it in the real world. It's happening everywhere, and I do not know. I know for a fact that that's not a good thing, because the real world, nature, is not hyper paced. It's not hyper stimulating. Just go into a forest. Just go take a walk into a forest, and don't look at your phone. Don't just be there alone, just by yourself, for possibly a few hours if you can. If you can is a word, like it is the key here, because I believe that a lot of people might not even be able, like especially young people who grew up on the internet, might not be able to spend a lot of time alone in nature, simply because nature is so calm and understimulating. Like, nature is supposed to be refreshing, but seeing the rise of technology, seeing like this constant need for more money, more wealth, more, because well, inflation is also happening, and um, things are getting more expensive, but jobs are paying less and less, and people are getting more and more jobs. Like, the housing market is, the prices are going up. Like, everything, the whole society we've built is just going to get fucked, in a sense, I believe. And well, it's part of nature that this is happening. It and this is why I don't know how to feel about this, because I have no real strong attachment to anything anymore, really. Like like I said, I struggle with suicidality. I'm kind of, especially recently, especially like the last few months, I've been constantly flipping between I need to kill myself and I can do this, I can keep going. And for me, seeing this future, it doesn't really affect me in terms of me wanting to be alive or not, because my suicidality is based on myself, in a sense. Um, and not like my suicidality is based on my inner world and not fully the external world, but my inner world is highly influenced by the external world. So I really don't know how to feel about this. Anyway, this shift in how things are going is coming. That's for near certain. It's basically certain that things are going to change heavily and wildly for humanity because of the internet and AI, and it already is happening. And a lot of people might not be aware of it. They are just going on with it because, well, that's what's natural, because everyone does it. So yeah, um, we need to think about humanity in a sense, because I believe that we are losing a sense of humanity. We're losing parts of who we as humans are, and this is upsetting in a sense. Seeing it, like, I'm going to talk a bit about nature right now, not humanity. Look at, like, creatures. Look at, well, creatures, critters, nature, animals, anything. They just exist. They don't really think. They just do. Or I don't know for sure. Like, I can't read the minds of animals, but animals tend to follow their instincts. And people call nature a cruel thing. And honestly, that's part of nature. Like, yes, birds eat mice, and vultures eat corpses. Um, Animals attack other animals for food. That's part of the life cycle. And humanity is currently the biggest being on earth that is kind of ruling over everything. So the idea of an AI coming in and taking that over, like I said, AI has the potential of becoming like a godlike being in a sense, and I do not know how to feel about that. Because on the one hand, if AI sees humanity as good, if it's a good overlord, if it's a god that wants the best for humanity, it will do that. But parts of nature is to destroy that's what's not needed. And the internet is one of the most unnatural things we have created. So it is very likely that the internet is going to die soon, in a sense. That's one of the biggest possibilities. That's kind of my prediction. That's where this whole video is going to. Like, all of this rambling is just to try and make the point that there's a huge possibility that the internet will disappear. There's also the possibility that it will just remain here as just another thing, and we as humans learn on our own that it's just part of everything, and start using it less and start enjoying nature again. And if that's the case, that's the best case scenario. But I personally believe that because of how the internet is designed, because of how hyper stimulating it is, because of how distracting it is, because, well, I mean, just look at your phone. I mean, you get a notification, most people immediately are like, what's that? And that's, it's interesting because, well, um, if the internet and technology as we know it ends in the way that I'm predicting that it's going to disappear, that means that such distractions will not happen anymore. But the brain, the human mind is currently adapted to constantly expect that to happen more and more and more. So I really do not know what is going to happen when such stimulation just isn't here anymore. Like, I genuinely believe that this shift is going to cause mass insanity. And I believe that it's already causing mass insanity. Like, I am seeing the world going more and more insane. And, well, I guess the moral of this video, I guess, I don't really know if there is one, but the I want to close this video off by saying we do not know what's going to happen. The future is a mystery, and we can only make predictions. I could be completely wrong in anything and everything that I'm saying, but I hope that I'm not making anyone worried about any of this. I more or less hope that I'm preparing people for a potential shift in how the world works. So, if you're seeing this video, and you think, oh fuck, I am addicted, I think that, like, if you're, like, watching this video and think, oh, the internet, it's taken over me, I recommend just taking the time off, taking a few days, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe a long time to not be on the internet. Because, well, that's. We need. Well, I think we need to prepare for such a big shift. And again, people. Battery died this time. But I'm aware, I don't know where it ended, but I'm aware that people are getting lost on the internet. And oh my god, I lost my point. No. I think we need to prepare for a. Oh, right. People are probably going to think that I'm getting insane. Like, I'm basically making a doomsday prediction. And I know how weird it. Like, I know that making doomsday predictions are something that you're probably not supposed to do, probably because people will call you insane. And, well, you can call me insane for saying all of this. Like, I do not care if you think of me as an insane person because of what I'm saying in this video, because these are my thoughts. And you can either choose to keep using the internet and keep living your life, or not, and or make a change and stop using the internet. Maybe uh, just stop using social media for a few months, possibly even month, week, at least 3 or 4 days is what I recommend, just to clean your mind a bit. And that's probably going to be one of the most difficult things for a lot of people to do. And I will be honest, that's one of the most difficult things for me to do, because well, I literally grew up on the internet. I still am someone who you can call a doom scroller in a sense, although I'm doing it less and less and less these days, and I'm actually trying to create things instead of just laying in bed, scrolling my phone, doing nothing. Like, if this video reaches you and you think, yeah, something needs to change, I highly, highly recommend to just put down your phone, put down social media, just don't look at it. And I know how hard that is. I know. But I truly believe that, I believe that if you do that, if you're able to take a step back from technology and just live without it for a while, I believe that if this prediction, if this shift that I'm talking about in this video, if that is coming, then if you're able to do that, you should be able to survive what's coming. And this is going to sound insane, but I've met a few people who were unable to do this. Well, I've met a few. Well, there are a lot of people who I don't think are able to take their mind off of their phone and social media. And I just think that once it's forced out of your life, like how for me psychedelics were, in a sense, they forced themselves out of my life, which is difficult to explain, but the simplest way to say it, my trips just became worse and worse and worse, and I just can't use psychedelics anymore, because that would literally drive me insane at this point, even though I did have quite a good time. But yeah. Um End of the video is just, it's important to be yourself. It's important to create. It's important to take care of yourself. And it's important to be among people. And all of these things are things that I'm currently still not that great at, if I have to be honest. But I am working on it, and as far as I'm aware, I am making quite good steps. Like I said, I'm not doom scrolling as much. In fact, me making this video is, in a sense, part of my recovery, because I really want to create things. And honestly, me thinking all the time instead of doing anything is my biggest strength in a sense, but also my curse, because the things I think about are things that people would just call me insane for. And I just hope that any of this information resonates with someone. I hope that um I hope that there will be people who understand what I'm talking about, who understand that I don't know what's coming yet feel a big sense of a doomsday coming for humanity. Like, I I cannot explain any further. I think I've said what I wanted to say. I think I spoke well, even if it was very rambly and probably all over the place. I probably repeated a few things over and over, but yeah, it just felt important for me to record this video, to say what I had to say, and just get my thoughts out there instead of just keeping it in my head, you know? Anyways, that's it for now. If you like this video, you can like it. Says the girl who just told people to get off of social media. Who cares? Just like the video. You can subscribe to me if you want. Um, but and well, it's important to just live in the moment, live life, and just do what you want. And what I want is to recover from my addictions and be a better person. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on being a better person for myself, and I'm working on, and part of that is getting rid of my addictions. And my addictions were self-destructive behavior, and honestly, social media use is, in my opinion, one of my biggest self-destructive behaviors. So I do genuinely hope that I'm going to keep making videos. I'm going to, well, I'm trying to stream on Twitch. Doing, I'm trying to create. That's because, well, I grew up on the internet, and if it's going to die, I, in a sense, do want to be part of its dying, in a sense, you know? I think, I don't know. I just want to enjoy the world, and I don't want to enjoy it through a lens. I want to actually experience things myself. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I have learned, I guess. That because I grew up on the internet, I only saw people do stuff and never really did things myself. I just worked, got high, slept. That's been my last 4-ish years, and yeah, my life's been wild, I guess. But it's time to shift, I guess, and I hope that other people might also shift. I hope this video, like I said, I hope this resonates with someone, and I hope I taught someone something. I hope you got something out of this video. Maybe you can laugh at it because I'm insane. Maybe you can think about the things I've said. Maybe you can just think, this is interesting. Let's just keep going with what I'm doing. Which, honestly, that's amazing. If that's what happens, that's amazing. If anything, any reaction to watching this video is honestly an amazing reaction, because well, that's just part of nature. That's part of life. That's part of the process, as far as I'm aware. Like, do what you have to do. Do what you want to do. And yeah, for now, thank you for watching. You can subscribe for videos from me. I don't know what kind of videos I'll make. You will have to find out, I guess. Um, but yeah, for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time, I guess, and I hope I wish myself, and I do my best to improve myself. And that is what I wish to everyone, to improve themselves into a better life that they want to live. And it doesn't really matter what that life is that you want to live, in my opinion. It just matters that you make the right decisions, and honestly, any decision you do make is, in a sense, a right decision, because well, we all learn somehow. And the way I learned is by doing nothing, and that's caused me to live through a lot of regrets, I guess, but also a lot of pain, because well, no, I think my brain's getting tired. It's currently almost 2 a.m. at midnight. I have work tomorrow, so I'm going to close this video off now before I actually start losing my mind. So I'll see you next time, I hope. Like, subscribe, do whatever, I don't really care. But for now, bye. Whew.